going to share my screen. Okay, so good morning. I'm going to keep an eye out if anybody else is joining us last minute. But this is the New to Nuts training. We call the program Mags and Munchies. So just so we keep it bold, just, you know, for our old schoolers who still remember just being plain old nuts. So I'm going to get you guys started, and that way I could get you out of here as fast as possible. What happens is this training, and along with Cookie Rookie training, is very intensive. It's a lot of information. So the point of the trainings is not for you to retain everything. It is for you to feel comfortable contacting us. I want you to feel like you have a friend in the product sales department whom you can email and just say, I forgot about this. Can you tell me, tell me how to do this again? Because it's a lot, so we know that. So this is just an overview so that way you feel comfortable asking us questions. So I'm going to start. The first thing I always start with is I go over all of the paperwork that you should be receiving from your service units. If you have any questions during the training, please pop them in the chat box. I'll check it every so often. And that way we can answer all your questions. Okay. So one more adding in. Okay. So the first piece of material you will be receiving from your service unit is the Troop Guidebook. The Troop Guidebook is basically like your little Bible. 9 times out of 10, you will have the answers to any of your questions in this book. If for some reason you can't find it, the answer you're looking for, or, maybe there's a new question that we didn't, foresee someone asking, check your guidebook first. If you don't see it, shoot us an email. Emails are best for our department because right now we're working hybrid. So we're doing some days in the office, some days at home. Right now I'm in my living room. My cat is sitting behind me. I'm sleeping. She's very annoying. So it is best to do email. We're pretty good at answering our email. Just give us a little bit of time. We're a little short-handed due to the pandemic. So just give us a little bit of time to answer you, but we are pretty efficient that way. But so your guidebook, by the end of this training, hopefully we have hit everything that's in there. We do our best to at least touch on everything, and that way you feel like you have an overview of the entire sale. The next piece of paperwork you should be receiving from your service unit is the nut order card. It's pretty self-explanatory, the nut order card. This is just a visual of what it looks like. Excuse me. We do have some new items this year. I'm going to go over that in a couple slides. But this is basically what a nut order card looks like. The back of it has the rewards on it. If you look at the top, this little section right here, I don't know if you can see my mouse. These are initial sale rewards that the girls can only earn during the initial sale phase. We'll go over the different phases in a little while. There will also, we have a new one this year. I'm going to just shout it out now. We added a new level in here where the girls can earn a slumber party pack with the sloth blanket. Our mascot this year is I think it's a 3-toed pygmy sloth. I apologize, my throat is giving out. So this is basically what your order card looks like. I think most people have probably seen one, whether it's from a colleague at work or from their actual scout. Next piece of paperwork. It seems a little silly, but it's called the money envelope. So everybody, it's pretty self-explanatory, the money envelope, but there is a couple things I just want you to remember about the money envelope. As the troop full chair, you set the boundaries for your troop, okay? The parents are to kowtow to you, okay? Not the other way around. So what you need to do is make your rules up front, okay? Don't let them fling the money envelope at you at a meeting and run. The only thing I have to say, this has happened to me, okay? So they send it in with their scout. It says $400 is in there. You get home and it's $300. So the one thing I want to reiterate during this whole training is receipts, okay? So do not collect any money from a parent unless you were able to hand them a receipt, okay? It really comes into play at the end of the sale when you can't figure out who owes money. Okay, I need something to help you with. I need those tools, those receipts, so we can back into figuring out who still owes you the money. So just, it sounds kind of silly that I sit here and I talk about a money envelope. But unfortunately, I've seen the horror stories of the misuse of the money envelope. So I'm just giving you a little tidbit. Don't let them fling it at you and run. Make sure you set your guidelines. I'll be at the meeting 15 minutes before and 15 minutes after for you to hand in any money. If you can't do both, do one or the other. Just as long as you communicate your way of work with them, that should be the way it goes. I am going to just flick. I just saw it. Okay. I'm going to just check our chat real quick. I'm only seeing your email, not a person. There's an Outlook homepage on my home screen. I am the thing. Okay. Let me see if I'm going to try to unshare, and then I will share again. Hold on one sec. Stop share. Share screen. How about now? Does everybody see anything now? So we're good? Okay, thank you. Sorry about that. Okay, so our next piece of paper that it deals with the full sale is the parent permission slip. The parent permission slip is pretty self-explanatory, but do not give out product to any parent or scout without having this filled out and in your hand. What happens is at the end of the sale, when they don't pay you, this is your saving grace, okay? So this is the piece of paper that's going to save the troop from owing the money. If for some reason someone doesn't pay you, you could fill out what's called an outstanding form, which is not a form I send out normally, but if you need it, you email us and we'll send it to you, because I'm hoping no one will ever need it. And then you would have to attach this to the form to let us know that the parent did accept responsibility for the product, along with any receipts. So that way we could see what they've paid and what they still owe. So again, to reiterate, this is probably the most important piece of paper in the program. Back in the day, before I was part of product sales, I was part of membership. And this piece of paper saved me at one point. I had a parent who did not pay their cookie bill, and kept giving me the runarounds. Oh, there was a death in the family. Oh, there's an emergency. I can't drop it off today. And then 5 minutes later, I'd see her at the library, that kind of thing. So this saved the troop from owing the money and myself, because I put her into collections. And unfortunately, it happens at times. I'm just hoping it doesn't happen to you personally. So parent-guardian agreement, you just need to hold on to it. What I used to do is I used to get a little coupon holder, put it in there. You can also nowadays take a picture of it and email it to yourself. That way you have it for posterity, and that way you don't have to worry about losing it. Whatever you're comfortable with at whatever technology level you're at, perfectly fine by me. The next agreement is your troop full chair agreement. Most of you have probably filled it out already through your service unit. We're giving them the option from here on in to do it electronically through a company called Wufo. It creates forms. So we are giving that option to some people who maybe not be able to get in person or drop it off or whatever. Just another tool for you guys to, make the sale a little bit easier. So this is just what it looks like. Before you sign it, make sure you're reading it, because it is a responsibility to handle the product and the money. So you want to make sure you're reading this over. You do need to be a registered member of Girl Scouts for the 2021 year. And you do need to have a background check. Anybody who handles product or cash or money has to be background checked for the safety of the girls. Okay, so just make sure you read that over. Next would be the ACH form. An ACH form is called an authorized clearinghouse form. What happens is the troop needs to fill this out every year and let me know their banking information. So what happens is once at the end of the sales, once the sale is over at the end, we rebate the troop. So the troop then will get, I'm going to go over it in a little bit, a certain amount of money per product. And then as soon as the bill is paid in full, we would direct deposit the rebate to the troop bank account. But in order to do that, I need to know the banking information. So every year we ask for this form. If nothing has changed from the year before, you could click that little box on the top where nothing has changed, and then you sign. Please make sure if you do that, that you just fill out the troop number and the service unit. That happens quite often. People just sign and then we don't know whose form it is. If it's a brand new troop or your banking account has changed, fill out the entire form. I can take it electronically. We did create a WUFU form for this year, just like we did for the agreement. So that way you could just upload the picture of the check and fill out the information there. So if you are in interest of needing that, just let me know. We haven't put it out there yet. We're still tweaking it a little bit. So that'll be out soon, but you can definitely use the hard copy and mail it to us, or even take a picture and email it to me, okay? Next would be your magazine flyer. It's the pretty colorful flyer. You have been given one per girl. It basically just gives the steps to go online and set up their online store. The back of the flyer this year is kind of like a little parent caregiver information, just to let them know a little bit more about how the sale works, dates to remember, things like that. But it's a pretty colorful flyer here, and it spells it out exactly the way it's supposed to be. Visit the website, create your personalized site, which means creating the avatar, and then they send out their marketing emails. This is called a family and friends sale. It's not meant to be, like the cookie sale where it blows up across the county. It's meant to be a starter sale so that everybody can get their little feet wet and earn some money for their troop. So that's who they would share their emails with: family, friends, coworkers, things like that. So this flyer is quite helpful, and you should have been given one per girl so that each parent, guardian can get one. Next is a call to catch up form. Now, what happens is, if you ever need to come to a cupboard, this form would need to be filled out so we know what product to get, fill your order with, and also what to charge you for. It also lets me know who is the responsible party picking up the product. We do ask for a driver's license because this is kind of like my permission slip when it comes to people picking up product. This year, however, it's going to be a little different. When we created the full program, excuse me, we created it planning as if it was going to be business as usual. So this year, the cupboard authorization form, aka the catch-ups, will probably be more electronic, where you have to make an appointment to come to the cupboard. For the safety of everybody involved, we're trying to keep the whole social distancing to a minimum, so we'll probably, at the end of the cookie season, if anybody partook in that, we did curbside, and where you had to create an appointment, we had your product ready for you, you came and picked it up, and it went really smoothly. We really got all the kinks out of it by the end of the sessions. So this form might not be as frequently used as it would have in a normal year. But I still wanted you to see it because it is in your paperwork. Like I said, it'll be the same electronically. It just might not be a carbon copy like you have in your little hand, okay? So I'm gonna go over what the different phases are in a little bit. Just wanted you to see what the paperwork looks like. So next we have a deposit slip. So a deposit slip, you will be mailed your deposit slips soon. We're working on them right now. So this is what a full deposit slip looks like. On the bottom, you'll see it says full campaign. If you have ones from the cookie season, they will say cookie campaign. Don't use those for full. There are two different bank accounts. With the council, we have a full bank account and a cookie bank account. So the money goes both, into the right account. Now, what you don't see on this site, on this deposit slip, is on the bottom over here, you would see coded numbers, okay? We have a machine that codes each deposit slip per troop. So over here, you would actually see your troop number coded there. So if your troop was 555, you would see a couple zeros, 555, and then the account number and the routing number for the council's bank account, okay? So make sure when you get your deposit slip that it does have your troop number correctly on it. Everybody's human, you know, an extra button could possibly get pushed. So I just want to make sure to reiterate, make sure you're using the correct deposit slip. Don't borrow one from a sister troop, or don't go down to the bank and use a blank one, because then they come over to me and I don't know who it belongs to. So by us coding them, lets me know what troop that deposit belongs to. Okay, so just a quick thing, just, you know, make sure that you're using the right one. I don't think there's too much else to go over in here. We do bank at Capital One. So you could go to any Capital One bank anywhere and use this deposit slip to make a deposit into one of the council accounts. So if anybody has any questions on that, feel free to ask. Next slide is going to be your initial sale receipt. This is something we created, I believe, a year or two ago. It's supposed to just help the people who have to enter the orders. There are two options to happen here. The parent does have access to enter the paper card orders into the site. If they create their child a online site, there is a section there that they can enter their paper card orders. It is completely up to them, up to you, how you want to work this. We created this form because, like I said, back in the day when I was the product salesperson for my daughter's troop, I collected all the order cards, and something that should have taken me maybe 45 minutes to add up was taking me hours because I could not decipher grandma's handwriting. I couldn't decipher if it was a check mark or a 2, or to the point I was asking my husband, what does this say? And he was like, you have to put them down now. So I created this on a personal level. Instead of collecting the order cards, I handed it to the parents, this form, and said, total up your order cards and give me all your totals. Because that way it saved me from having to figure out people's handwriting. And I just needed that. At the end of the day, it's all you need. You just need their totals. So the only thing with this is, I want to reiterate, if the parent does this for you, don't have them hand this in to you and you put it in again. Okay, you want to make sure this only gets entered once. So again, make sure you set the rules with your parents on how you want to handle this. I was always the type that wanted to do it myself, but we are creating the tools to take a lot of the work off of the leader for the sales. We're trying to, at least. So this is just another one of those things that you can ask the parent to do it. And then ask them to hand in the form to you if you want to double check it. But again, you have to set that rule from the beginning so you know what you're doing. I hope that makes sense. If anybody has any questions, feel free to ask. Now, the last one is the receipt sheets. I didn't have a picture of this. The receipt sheets look like there's 4 little sheets on a regular piece of letter paper. They're carbon. These are the receipts you can use when you collect money. These are the receipts you use when you give out product. Anytime you give a parent or a family product, you should give them a receipt, so that way they know how much they owe the troop. Anytime you collect money, you should be giving them a receipt to show them how much they paid you. Again, this is really helpful for those times where, you know, life gets chaotic, something could happen, and you need to backtrack and figure out who owes money. So I apologize for not having the picture. It was very last minute. I decided to throw it in, and but I'm sure you'll see it in your packet. It's wrapped in like a cellophane and has a couple sheets in each little packet. If anybody needs to see it, I can definitely get a picture of it. But it's a pretty self-explanatory piece of equipment that we use. So on to the next slide of what's new this year. What's new this year for this campaign is the backgrounds for the avatar patches. When the girl signs on to her account, she has to create her avatar, as well as you. When you go on for your first time as the troop chair, you are requested to create your avatar too. It's actually quite fun. I usually download mine after I create it, and I make it part of my signature for my emails, and it kind of is another way to promote the sale. It's actually quite fun to do. So they get to choose between 2 different backgrounds this year. One is kayaking and one is camping. So it really is cute. They get to choose. They could put their name on there. They can put an abbreviation of their name on there. I believe they don't even have to choose their name. So it's really a cute way for the girls to get personally involved with the program. They will earn their avatar patch when they sell $350 worth of product. Now, product can be magazines, direct shipped orders, any kind of sale through the program. So they also have to send out 15 emails. If you have more than one child in Scouts, I have 3. So coming up with 45 unique family and friend emails might be a little difficult. So you can repeat the 15 emails if need be. I usually try to spread it out. Like if, I'll send one to grandma on one side of the family, another one to grandma on the other side of the family. That way they don't all feel obligated to buy from all 3. But again, you work that out any way you like. I thought I saw something pop up in the chat, so let me just see real quick. I am the Service Unit Mags and Nuts Corner. Do I need more extensive training? This is the first time I am part of this program. We had your service unit training this past Saturday. What we can do is we recorded it. So if you shoot me an email, I can definitely send you the link to that training. This will be definitely helpful for you, but there was a little bit of a different training for the service units. So yes, shoot me an email and I will send you that link so you can watch that training also. Are there receipts like this for cookies? Yes, there are receipts like this for cookies. The cookie receipts look like a little booklet. They kind of like this, and they have like a little flippy page where you can put the cardboard in for the carbon. I have millions of them. They're at the office, and you should be given them when you get your initial paperwork from your service unit. But yes, we do have receipts for cookies also. Okay, so I think I cleared those 2 questions. New product this year, we have the new peppermint bark rounds in a really cute snowman tin. The tins are always a big hit because they're good for teacher gifts, they're good for bus driver gifts, dance teachers, all that kind of thing. The chocolate mint trefoils are in a compass tin. I think it's over here, but I think my little block of people is blocking it. Yep, there it is. It's really cute. It's usually Girl Scout themed. And it looks like a compass this year. So it is fantastically cute. I spoke about it a little bit before, but you can see a nice clear picture of it. We added a new reward level in. So if the girl sells 300 plus units, they can earn the slumber party kit. And it also includes the really super soft sloth blanket. So, it's nice for the girls to have levels, new levels to achieve. So let's see what next is. Okay. We have an event coming up. It is Thursday, September 24th. It is from 6 to 7 p.m. It is a rally for the fall campaign. It's called Fall into Girl Scouts. It is usually an in-person event, but due to the circumstances, we've morphed it into a virtual event. You can meet our brand new CEO, Pamela, and see all the rewards line up and the newly released patches. It is $10 to participate. It includes an activity kit with craft supplies, the patch, some swag. It's really a great way to get the girls hyped up about the fall event. It doesn't have to be done as a troop. It can be done as a family. So a girl can do this on her own if she likes. We ask that you just maybe, tell the parents about it. We do allow for the kits to be picked up at any of our locations, Comac, Bayport, or Riverhead. And, it's really a great thing. They did this kind of system for the summer camp, and it really was a great hit. So we're hoping that we get a lot of response from this to get the girls, hyped up about the fall program. It gives them a little bit of sense of normal and chaos, if you know what I mean. Okay, so now we're going to get into the phases of the sale. So the first phase of the sale is called the initial sale phase. It will start September 18th, which I believe is this Friday, and it goes until October 25th. It's nothing like cookies where it goes on for much longer. It's a very short sale, again, a family and friend sale. At this point, the girls take orders on their order cards, on their paper order cards that we saw before, and they also set up their online accounts and take orders online. All order card orders need to be entered into the system by October 25th. We touched on that a little bit. You just have to make the decision of whether you want the parents to do that or whether you want to do that as a troop. Anything ordered online, we're going to go over that in a moment. There are two types of, I can go, okay. There are two types of online orders, okay? There's what's called a promise order, where the customer can order product and the girl promises to deliver it. So the money will be collected online, the product will be ordered online, and the girl will deliver it. The second kind of online order is called a direct shipped order. That is where the customer would pay for shipping and the order would carry over into the system and the girl would have nothing to touch, no money to collect, no product to deliver. It just automatically is in the system, okay? So the thing with the promise orders are they automatically carry over. So you don't want the parents to write down them on the order card and then place the order twice. So you want to make sure you make that clear with the parents if they're the ones that'll be entering the paper order cards, to make sure that they understand that the promise orders are already in there. They don't need to do anything with them besides deliver them when they come in, okay? So just wanted to make sure we skip to that slide real quick. Any orders placed during this phase of the sale between the September 18th and October 25th will be delivered to your service unit full chair, or if they opt into, we're trying something new this year called a council pickup location. On November 2nd, that will happen at all of our council locations. Your service unit chair will let you know where to pick up and when, okay? So they will be communicating with you all the details once they set them up with me. The deliveries begin the week of November 2nd, okay? So once that happens, they'll be in contact with you of this is when and where you pick up your product. You would go down to that location during that time, pick up your product, sign for it, bring it back to your home, separate it up, and get it to your families. They then have an opportunity to deliver it and collect any money that they need to from their customers. We ask that all money be paid within 2 weeks. If you're a little bit, behind that ball, I'm not coming to get you. I'm not going to come knock on your door at day 15. Just communicate with us. I'm having a little bit of hard time collecting, or and that way it keeps us all on the same page with the communication level. So that is how the initial sale works. Does anybody have any questions about the initial sale? I do see something in chat. Have the service unit chairs received our order supply packets for distribution yet? Yes, they have. They have received your packets probably about 2 weeks ago, I'm thinking, if not even more. So because it's kind of still in summer mode at that point, a lot of them probably haven't distributed anything yet, but you could definitely talk to your service unit and ask them when to come get your packet. Can we make it mandatory to have money collected before submission? I say no. The program is not written that way, and your sales will decrease significantly because most people don't want to have to front the bill for someone else. And for example, I just had an email from someone who must have ordered cookies from a coworker and paid up front for them and never got their cookies because clearly the pandemic happened. So now I'm trying to help them track down the coworker that doesn't even work there anymore to try to get their money back for cookies. So I don't recommend that at all. You will see a great decrease in your sale. Again, I can't tell you exactly how to run your sale, but my opinion is don't do it. It'll just hurt you in the long run. Okay, so if everybody gets the initial sale phase, I'm going to go on to the next phase. Okay. So we went over the two different types of orders. If anybody also at the end of this training would like to be sent it again directly without having to search for it, just shoot me an email and I will send you the link. Even if you just want the PowerPoint, sometimes it's good just to look at the slides again. I'm more than happy to share. I'm a sharer. So just let me know. You can email me at kdrechler, KDRECHSLER @gssc.us, or you could use product sales at gssc.us. Either one, come directly to me and we can get you what you need. Okay, so next phase of the sale is our catch-up orders. We touched a little bit on that when we were talking about the catch-up order form. So after the initial sale is over on October 25th, the catch-up phase begins. The girls can continue to sell. They can take orders from the same people. Maybe they loved a product and want more of it. They can continue taking new orders. These orders take place from October 26th through November 22nd. They can start being picked up at the cupboard the week of November 2nd. So they could take an order on the 26th and come pick it up on November 2nd. Again, we're probably going to be doing that as appointments. So just keep an eye out for those emails from us. Also, it would be a good idea to like our social media pages, Facebook, Instagram, all those fun things, because we do post a lot of information there, and that's usually where it hits first. Sometimes emails get kind of clouded in, you know, the email clutter of our inboxes. So sometimes liking those pages really helps us out to get the information out. So girls continue to take orders during this time period. The only difference is, instead of it getting shipped to your service unit for that one big pickup, you would have to come and pick it up. So that really is the only big difference. Secondly, little difference is it's not going to be in the computer yet. So once you come and pick up, I then have a data entry clerk person who will then input that order into the system, and then you have to go back in and tell the system who you picked up for. So we call that allocating. That way, what happens is at the end of the sale, the computer sees how many product each girl has, and it automatically orders the rewards for them. So if you don't go back in and tell the computer that you picked up 10 more chocolate covered pretzels for little Sally, we don't know that. We only know that Troop 555 picked up 10 units of chocolate covered pretzels for Troop 555. We don't know that you picked it up for little Sally. So you just have to go back in. Usually it takes about a day or two for us to get that transaction into the system. And then you would go in and just follow the directions on and add those products to little Sally's account. There is a page in your guidebook that explains to you how to do this in detail. It's not, once you do it, you're like, oh, that's easy. It looks more complicated than it is. And again, like I said earlier, you're not going to remember everything I'm saying today. So my point is for you to get an overview and then shoot me an email when you need some help with something. We do send out a lot of reminder emails. Don't forget, it's time to allocate. Here's the directions. My supervisor, Jenna, she creates these fantastic videos. They're little cartoon videos on how to do everything. And we call them in time, because there's different things to do at different phases of the sale. So when it comes time to allocate, you'll see a little video about how to allocating. So we do try to, you know, keep you guys on top of those things. Towards the end of the sale, you'll probably hate me because I've become that little parrot on your shoulder that you want to flick off. So, but please don't hate me. We just are trying to get you guys and your girls everything they deserve for everything they've sold. Promise orders during the catch-up phase go away. The only chance for promise orders is during the initial sale phase. Direct shipped orders stay open, as do magazine orders. They stay open during the whole sale. Promise orders, I think, would get a little messy if we kept open during the whole sale, because then it's more work for you guys to figure out who I picked up for. Did this come in initial sale? Do I still need to pick this up? So to keep it a little more streamlined and in line with the cookie sale, we have kept it exactly the same, where promise orders shut down after initial, direct shipped, and magazines stay open through to the end of November 22nd. Okay, does anybody have any questions? It's looking pretty good. Okay, so next slide. I have to move my little box again because it's getting annoying. So here's another conundrum for this year is boot sales. Boot sales normally happen between October 23rd and November 22nd. We are monitoring the CDC and all the guidelines given by GSUSA to see how this is going to pan out for this year. As of right now, it's not looking good as for regular booth sales, but we do see in the foreseeable future parents being able to do a family type of booth sale. We started the phrase last year, we're calling it a standabout. Think of it as a lemonade stand. So they could do it on their own property with their own child. Social distancing could be set up kind of like a drive-through. But at the end of the day, it's still all up in the air, but we do see that possibly happening. I just personally don't see the stores allowing us to stand outside at this point in time. Maybe for cookies, it'll be a different story. But for right now, with everything so like everybody going back to school and everybody on eggshells, I don't see it happening for fall. But we will keep everybody informed as things change. So like I said, it is a good idea to make sure you like all our pages and stuff, because that's really where we promote it. If it was a normal year with a normal boot sales, I'm going to tell you how you would do a normal boot sale. Just so for the future, you know how to do it. Every service unit does boot sales a little bit different. A service unit, in case anybody doesn't know, is kind of like a school district. We break out the county into what's called service units instead of school districts. Some school districts are so large that they're more than one service unit. For instance, my kids go to Sachem. We're so big, we're 2 different service units. We used to be 4, but we've consolidated them down to 2. So what happens is each little service unit has their own way of work. So this is the 95% of the service unit to do it this way. So I'm going to explain it this way. But before any of you go ahead and start booking boot sales, you should really check with them on their way of work, on how they do it. So the most common way to do it is you would call a store, ask to speak to the manager, ask for a date and time that is acceptable to them, that they would allow you to stand outside. So I would call Stop and Shop and ask for the manager, and Stop and Shop would say yay or nay. The next step would be to tell your service unit that you've called the store and they told me, yes, I could do it on this date and this time. They create a calendar of everything that goes on in their town. Because what happens is when you call a store, especially a large store, there are many, many managers. So you might speak to one manager who maybe got sidetracked and never wrote it on the calendar. Okay, so the safeguard is for you to tell your service unit, who then in turn writes it on their calendar. So if that was to happen, they would catch any double booking. The last thing you want to happen is to show up to a store and there's another troop standing there. You know, it really can get uncomfortable. I'm saying that politely, because sometimes the adults and the parents get kind of, you know, heated when it comes to things like that. So the best thing to do is to avoid it altogether. By following the procedures, we're hoping to alleviate at least 99% of that. Is it going to ever be 100% perfect? No, because that means everybody has to follow the rules. And we all know in life that does not happen. But putting these procedures in place at least alleviates, I'm hoping, at least a high percentage of it. So now you've done step 1 and step 2, everybody's good. The next thing you need to do is let me know that you're doing a boot sale. You need to let council know, so that way we have product for you. So we have what's called a boot sale reservation form, which is on our website. It's just a link. You would go to the product sales area and you click on boot sales, and you could click on the link. You would fill out the form. You let me know what cupboard you want to come to pick up, and we would have your boot sale ready for you. Don't worry about picking product out. What we know what sells at a boot sale. I know not to give you, 3 cases of Gorp. I'm not going to make you schlep 3 giant cases of Gorp. I know that, honey roasted peanuts sell, fruit slices sell. So we know what to give you in order to have a successful boot sale. So you would come pick that up. Usually we ask that you would pick product up on like Thursday or Friday, because most boot sales happen on the weekends. So you would pick it up on that Thursday or Friday prior to the boot sale. You'd have your boot sale. We would hand you a deposit slip at pickup. After your boot sale, we would ask you to make the deposit of all the money. This is the only time we don't give you 2 weeks to pay the bill, because you shouldn't need it. You should have the money right in front of you. So we ask that you go to any Capital One, make your deposit, and on that Monday and Tuesday of the following week, you bring back the leftovers. With your deposit slip, we count it back with you, and you're good to go. We would then enter it into the computer just like we would for a catch-up sale, and then you would have to go back in and tell the computer which girls came to your boot sale. You can divvy up the boot sale however you like, however you deem it fair. There's some troops that the 10 girls there, we sold 100 products, everybody gets 10. That's fair. There's some troops that do it where, there were 5 girls there, but 2 of the girls were there for the whole time, and 3 of them only came for an hour. So we're going to give them more product. That's fine too. However you want to do it is fine by me, as long as you feel that it's fair. At the end of the sale, there's a chance to play around with a little bit of the product. So if you have a girl who's I'm just making up numbers, who is at 112 units, and you have another girl who is short 12 units for the next level, you can move the units over. I'm all for that. The more we can get the girls, the more fun it is to them, and the more, fun and tchotchke things they get, they love. I say don't do that until the end of the sale, once everybody has paid you, because the MTOS system, the M2OS system, keeps track of what the girls owe. So don't do that, playing with the numbers, until the end of the sale when everybody's paid. Because then you don't have to worry about, figuring out, you move this to who. So it just keeps you a little bit more sane that way. If there's no questions on boot sales, I know, like I said, it's probably not going to happen the traditional way, but I wanted to explain it to you. So hopefully by next year, or even for cookies, you understand the concept of boot sales. The training for cookies is it's similar to this Noon and Nuts training. We try to mirror the 2 sales, so it's much easier for you to participate. The only difference is the computer systems. The computer systems are owned by the vendors. So for instance, the fall sale, the vendor's site that we use is called M2, and they create the system we use. When it comes to cookies, we have a bakery that's called Little Brownie Bakers, and they create the system we use for there. So that's the only big difference is the computer systems. Otherwise, the way of work is almost identical. So that's why we try to mirror it as best we can. So it's not like, well, you do that for fall, but you don't do that for cookie, that kind of thing. Okay, so we did create some special weekends like we normally do. On these special weekends, the girls would earn these special patches. The one up to the right-hand corner that just says boot sales, and it looks like goggles and a snorkel, that's for any weekend that the girls do a boot sale. So there's no special weekend. That's the generic boot sale patch. The other 3 are patches made up for special weekends. So October 23rd to the 25th is the first boot sale weekend that we would have, and it's Girl Scouts Make a Difference weekend. In November, the beginning of November, we have Nuts for Girl Scouts with our mascot of the sloth on it. And then to end up the sale, we do Girl Scout Strong. If we only do the standabouts where it's family oriented, we will still give them these patches. Unfortunately, we don't, even though we're not technically promoting regular boot sales right now, the girls can still have this opportunity to earn these. We're going to do the best we can with all the knowledge that we're given from GSUSA and the state. So we'll have to see how that goes, but hopefully it'll end up good. There is a portion of our sale, if you look on the order card, called Care to Share. If you've done cookies before, it kind of is similar to Operation Cookie. The only difference is in Operation Cookie, we usually send the cookies to the military. This past year, we did the military, and we also did essential workers. We sent quite a few cases. For nuts, Care to Share goes to an organization called Long Island Cares, which distributes all the product to the local food pantries. So it's really a nice program, so that way, people who have to go to food pantries get a little bit of not just the normal, they get a little bit of fun product too. So in order to participate for that, the person would have to buy a product worth $6. That's the general consensus for the cost of the product. You don't have to handle any product. It would just be like a virtual product. At the end of the sale, I take care of collecting all the product and bringing it over to Long Island Cares. I work it out with the vendor. Our warehouse is kind enough, they drive it over. It's right near our office, Long Island Cares. Their headquarters is right in Hop Hog. And then they distribute to all the local food pantries. It's really a great aspect to the sale, especially in these times where a lot of people might be visiting the food pantries more often than they used to. So if anybody has any questions about that, let me know. And it's a pretty nice program. We started it, I think, 3 to 4 years ago, and it's been very successful, and it's increased every year. So that's really nice to see. Okay, so now we're on to what does the troop earn for selling product? So it's actually, you have more potential to earn money on nuts than you do cookies. Nuts is a harder sell. So, nuts and magazines are a harder sell. So we know that. So we're trying to give you a little bit more for that. So every nut product, every can, every tin is worth 80 cents per item, okay? Any orders placed online that are direct shipped, the troop would get 10%. So the reason we do that is there are different items online that the people can buy. There are gift baskets and different products that we don't have on the order card that might cost more than, say, $7 of an item on your order card. A gift basket might run $35, $40, and we don't want to give you 80 cents for that. So we're giving you 10%. So if you pick a product that's $30, the troop is getting $3 opposed to just the 80 cents. So we started that a couple of years ago too, because, it just seems fair. Magazines, again, we understand a lot of people have gone digital. There are digital subscriptions. It doesn't have to be a paper magazine anymore, but every magazine order, the troop gets $1.50. So it's actually quite, a hefty rebate for a magazine. I like paper magazines, so I usually order a couple for my kid because I like to sit here and read it. But that's me. Cadets and older have the option of opting out of rewards, and they can earn an extra 15 cents per unit for the nut products. So, and also the magazine products. What happens is we find that the older girls might not want all the tchotchkes. They might not want the fluffy sloth. They might be going for an award for gold, silver, and they want to use the money to help with their award. So we do give them the option to get the extra money instead of the prizes. If a troop opts out, they wouldn't get the tchotchke prizes, okay? I call them the tchotchke prizes. They would still earn, though, however, the upper rewards. For instance, if a girl sells 200 units and the troop opted out, she wouldn't get the little, the keychains and all that fun stuff. She would, however, get the free week of camp. If they hit the 300 mark, they still would get the slumber kit. We don't want to, these girls really worked hard to hit those levels. So we're just saying they're not going to get the tchotchkes. They would also still receive the patches, because girls always want the recognition to put on their vests. So if they opted out, they would still get the patches too that they earned during the sale. Does anybody have any questions in regards to troop proceeds? Okay. Usually it's on our website. We're still revamping the website a little bit with all the new information. Especially for cookies, a lot of people always ask, where does the cookie money go? There's a breakdown on cookies. I don't know if it's still up there. I'll have to look. We call it How the Cookie Crumbles. And that way people can see that, the girls earn money. We use it to buy patches. We use it to run camp. We use it to, keep people in the office. We use it for this, so I can give you a training on how to use the program. There's so many ways that the money that is earned from these sales happens for the girls. It's just unbelievable. So this is just a close-up of all the rewards the girls can earn. Like I said before, if you look on the order card, you'll see an initial rewards section. Those are items that can only be earned between September 18th and October 25th. Once the 26th hits, these rewards can't be earned anymore. So make sure we understand that. The patches for the whole sale are up top. They're very adorable, with our wonderful sloth. She's so cute. Everything looks really cute. Then we have, these are the rewards for the full end of the sale. So like I said before, if a girl sells 200 units, she's going to get everything. She's going to get the choice of the small sloth or the charm bracelet, the journal, the choice of the next level, the large sloth and the tassel string lights, the next level and the super seller event and camp. It's cumulative. So what happens is they will get everything. If they opt out, they will get the patches from the previous slide, the super seller event, the week of camp, and the sloth blanket and party pack. Okay, so we really want these girls to be happy at the end of the sale for all the hard work they did. So it really is a great lineup. I have to tell you, the stuffed animals are the softest stuffed animals I've ever seen in my life. So they really have great quality stuffed animals. Their plush is great. And I love this year how they themed the journal. Fall really doesn't do that very often, and it looks like they're going to start. So it really is a nice little touch. It's a fuzzy journal with a sloth on it. Cookies has done that for a long time. So it's nice to see that they're jumping on that bandwagon. Okay, touch base a little bit more. You can see them a little bit clearer are the personalized patches. I said before, they get to choose from kayaking, and they also get to choose from camping. So the way they earn this, again, is by sending out 15 emails and selling $350 worth of product. It could be any product, okay? They can choose what their avatar looks like. The cute one this year I saw, if you look at my background on my video, they can choose a mask. They could put a mask on this year. I actually put a mask on my little avatar this year because, you know what, it's the year of the mask. So let's embrace it a little bit. So this is our personalized patches. So they're super cute this year. We also have a personalized patch. It's called the Cookie Crossover Patch. So it's to kind of promote the girls to do both programs. So what happens is, if the girl sends out 15 emails in the fall and sells 150 boxes of cookies, she will earn this fantastic Making a Difference patch. I love the aspect of all the different colored hands. It's just such a great patch to have on your vest. But it's meant to have the girls participate in fall and cookies. So as all they have to do for fall is send out their 15 emails and then 150 boxes of cookies in the cookie program. And then at the end of the cookie program, all these avatar patches get directly sent to the parent. So you don't have to worry about distributing them, or sometimes they come to the office by accident and it's like, it just says Sally. And I'm like, I don't know who Sally is. So it's really nice that they go directly to the parent. When the parent helps their child sign up their online site, they're asked for their mailing address for this specific reason. So when the girl hits that mark, it gets directly sent to them. Cookies won't be sent until the end of the cookie program because we have to mesh up the two systems to see who's hit the mark. But if the girl hits the mark in fall on day one, the patch is sent to production on day one, and they should have it within a couple weeks because it's a personalized patch, so it does take a little bit of time for them to create and mail out. Now, volunteers can also earn patches if your troop sells. Now, this is the average. So this is so doable. If your troop as a whole sells $1,300 worth of magazines and nuts, you will get your avatar patch too. So you get to choose. That's why I say when you go on to create your troop site, make sure that you're creating your avatar because it really is a cute thing to have. Also, when the girls create their sites, they have a virtual room, a virtual like bedroom. And if they go into that virtual bedroom, they could click on the photo and see all the avatars that are made for that troop as like a group, as like a troop photo. If you create yours, you're going to show up in that photo too. And they love it. They think it's so cute. And that photo is downloadable. So you can download it. I've told people for years, Printed on iron-on paper. You guys can make t-shirts with your little troop photo of your avatars. There's so many things you could do with it. Make tote bags, you know, but they really are cute. And it really is fun to make it. So I know I just skipped that slide. I'm going to just quickly, I'm gonna just show you what the site looks like quick. So just give me one moment. I have to go back to sharing my screen. Give me a moment. Okay. Okay. So can everybody see my screen?
Yes.
Thank you, Laura. I have a question here. I did not get the flyers in my packet or cupboard authorization form. How can I get them? Shoot me an email and I will mail them to you. Tell me how many flyers you need and I will send you a couple cupboard authorization forms. It could be your service unit just maybe was short or maybe they just forgot. But if you send me an email with your address, I will mail them out to you. I'm in the office tomorrow, so I will get those out to you tomorrow. Okay, so when you get your, once you tell us that you're going to be the troop chair and you filled out your form, it does take a little bit of time for your service unit to get us your forms. So if you haven't gotten the login yet, don't freak out. You can email me, and as long as you're registered and background check, I can add you in. Your service unit will hand them in within the next probably week or two. So just bear with them. But this is what the screen will look like when you go to sign in. I'm going to log in as administration, which is what you will do. Go to campaign site is for the parents. So what they did was the first year we did this, it was a little confusing. You had to go to one site for one thing and another site for another thing. So the company made it one login place. So you just have to choose where you want to go. So I'm going to choose admin. This is my login. First time you log in, it's going to make you watch a video. It's about 8 to 10 minutes long. It'll tell you all the nooks and crannies about how the website works. It's really informative. You can go back and watch it once you finish watching. If you forgot something, you want to go look at it. You can't skip past it though. You do the first time you log in, it does force you to watch it. So just to give you a heads up, there's no way around it. You have to watch it. So you're not going to have this option, but it gives me an option of whether I want to go in as council or troop. You're just going to have the troop option. So I've created myself into a troop so I can show you what the troop view looks like. Okay, so this is, I have twin daughters who are 11, and this is their troop. This is my little avatar I created. I don't have pink highlights, but I'm thinking about it, so we'll see. So this just gives them a glimpse of what happened last year and the sales you have for this year. Okay, so right now there's 0 because obviously we're not even open for business yet. Just going to move my little screen of pictures. So here's a couple things I need you to do when you first log in. So for fall, we usually tend to use last year's data because not everybody is registered yet for 2021. So we kind of use both. So there is a chance that there will be girls in this system that maybe have not re-registered or chosen to continue. There also might be a chance that you have a new girl that hasn't made it in. Maybe she didn't make the cutoff for when I had to do the upload. Okay, so the first thing I need you to do is go to the Manage Troop and Girls section. You click on it. It's a pretty easy site to navigate. You click on the Girl Scouts. And I want you to make sure everybody's there. Okay, so that's what I need you to do. If you see someone missing, you just let us know. We will add them in. If you see someone who shouldn't be there, again, let us know and we will fix it. There are some rewards for the troop. You'll see it in your guidebook that are per girl average, things like that. So you don't want girls in here that don't belong because you don't want your average to be skewed. I tend to double check it against membership, but it's always nice to have some clean data. So if you want to go back, you click on your little home button. It doesn't always pop up with your graph. You can always just bring it back if you want to see it. If you're cadets and older and you want to opt out, this is where you would do it. Reward opt out. Physical rewards are enabled. I could shut it off and then click update, but I'm not going to shut it off because I don't know what the girls want to do. It's not up to the troop leaders to decide. It's up to the girls to decide. So that should be a discussion of whether they want the rewards or whether they want the extra money. And remember, it's just for cadets and up, okay? If you click on all your little sections, you'll see what they all do. Paper order entry. This is where if you collect the girls, excuse me, if you collect the girls' order cards or the initial sale receipt, this is where you would enter the order card information. Troops have access to do this from the 21st through the 25th of October. Otherwise, it's all parent up to that point. So on the 21st, it's either at midnight or it's 22nd, 12:01. I'm just not sure how we set it. You would click on the girl's name and it would pop up with all the products that are on the order card, okay? You would put the grand totals in, and at the bottom, there would be a pink update button, excuse me. Due to the fact that it's not open yet, there's no update button. But once it is, you'll see the pink update button. It would close out, and it would bring you back to your list here. You would then just pick the next child and put the next order in. Once that's done, there's nothing else for you to do for initial sale. Let's see what else is fun to look at. There's a nice report section. You can look at all the different reports. The nice thing too is any girl who has promise orders, an email will be sent to that parent after the initial sale is over with a report that tells them, so-and-so bought this, you need to deliver this. So-and-so bought this, you need to deliver this. You should have access to that too. Online Nut Girl delivered. There's not going to be anything there. But you can see here, you would click the little plus sign and it will let you see everything that she's done. Because there's no sales in there yet, it's not giving me any other options. But I just thought it'd be good to see the site live. That way you can see that it's pretty friendly. You can send messages to the parents through the site. So if you're not the troop leader and you are truly just the troop chair for fall, you can send out emails to participants who are missing a reward action. Because if you notice, what that one means is there were some rewards that they got to choose. You want the sloth or something else. The parent is the one that's supposed to choose that. So what happens is if they don't, the system will default to one or the other at the end. But we don't want that to happen, especially if the girl has her heart set on something. So you could go in towards the end of the program and click on participants with missing rewards, and it will send to girls in your troop who just have to do reward selection. So the site is quite sophisticated when it comes to that. Banking and payments. This section will just show you all the deposits you've made. So if you went to Capital One and you deposited $500, you would see that here. If for some reason you go in there and you don't see it there, then you shoot me an email, send me the date and amount, I'll find it, we'll fix it. It happens occasionally if the bank doesn't scan your deposit slip correctly, they come over to me unattached to a troop. I call them my orphans because clearly they belong to someone, but I just don't know who. Until we call you and tell you owe us $3 million and you freak out and then you say, no, I made that deposit. You just need to send me the information and we'll find it and we'll fix it. Troop summary is another good section here. It'll tell you everything that's going on for sales wise, what the troop's earning and things like that. The only thing that's a little confusing, there is a page in your guidebook that shows you a diagram on how to figure out what your troop owes. What the site is calculating is what your troop owes less the rebate. We don't work that way. You have to pay for your full amount and then we rebate you, but the site is not written that way. And so sometimes we have to make it kind of work for us. So this collected from customers section should match payments made to council. If it doesn't, the difference is what you owe to make the deposit, okay? Again, there is a diagram in the guidebook that shows it this year. because it was a lot of questions last year. So we wanted to make sure you guys had a tool there to help you. Magazines you would never have to collect any money for because it's all done electronically. Same thing goes with direct ship sales. The only time you would actually need to pay for product is from nut card sales, which would include the paper card order. It would include catch-ups and boot sales. Anything else is already paid for online. So I hope that makes sense. Trying to see if there's anything else I need to really show you on here. Over here just tells you, you know, who's earned what up to that point. You have no earners yet for this. Just informative. You could rewatch the training video right here. You could do a parent email blast at the very beginning when you sign in. It'll just, what they said at our last training was, which it made it perfect sense, is when you send emails from this system, it looks like they're coming from you. So people tend to open up emails that from a friendly email from a person they know, opposed to from an automated site. Okay, so they've created this. So at the beginning of the sale, when you first sign in, you could go in here, check that everybody's email is correct, and skip and approve the letter. And then it'll send out a generated letter, but it'll look like it comes from you. So they're more likely to open that up opposed to seeing something from M2 Group. So that's a new feature that I'm hoping it'll be quite helpful for everybody. So does anybody have any other questions? Because this is pretty much my overview. I think we've pretty much hit on everything. If you have any specific questions that you don't want to ask me right now, feel free to email me. I'm more than happy to answer anything if you don't feel comfortable, you know, asking right now. We do have some staff members on the call today because they also like to be informed of how the product sale is working. So for instance, Laura Michaels is here, Janet Latham is here. That's just the two I see up front. And it really helps us that way we're all giving out a consistent message. We want to make sure that our messages to all our volunteers are consistent. And you can unmute yourself if you want to talk or ask a question, feel free. We don't have to use the chat anymore. Okay, so I see Jackie Morgan's on here too. Thank you for coming, Maria Fogarty. It's just nice to see everybody on here. That way we all, like I said, have that consistent message. So if nobody has any other questions, I think our training is done. And like I said, if anything pops up that you need to, you know, something that just pops in your head, you have a question, we are here. We are here. Please feel free to use and abuse us. That's what we love to do. We love to help you and navigate this crazy world we're in. So I'm going to stop recording now.